There are so many places where the light-working spiritual community has been hijacked and they don't even know it. I'm Kerry K. I'm a spiritual teacher, but I guess that I'm really unspiritually spiritual. Just the other day, I get a comment. It was on YouTube, and the comment says, Kerry, I don't trust you, which is cool because I don't want your trust. I don't even want your love. I don't want you to follow me. I want you to follow you. I want you to love you, and I want you to trust you. But this person obviously assumed that because I'm a spiritual teacher, I must want them to trust my word, trust what I'm saying. I don't want that. I want you to learn to focus inward. I'm a spiritual teacher, and I've honestly battled to call myself spiritual teacher. I thought surely there are other words that I can use other than spiritual, because I'll tell you what, I'm the most unspiritually spiritual person that I know, because I keep looking at the new age movement, at the spiritual community, and going, God, you guys, at what point are you going to get real? At what point are you going to get authentic? At what point are you going to wake up and realize that you can't con yourself into 5D and ascension? At what point are you going to realize that you can't mantra your way in? You can't yoga your way in. You can't veganize your way in. You can only step into the authenticity, the powerful authenticity of where you are. And so many people are so afraid of the depth, so afraid of the realness, the raw, real, undiluted, even vulnerable space within them that they have spent money and lifetimes and work distracting themselves from and covering up so that they don't have to deal with, don't have to see, don't have to confront, don't have to acknowledge, don't have to admit that these are the things that they have felt, because they might elicit shame. They might elicit self-loathing. They might elicit deep, dark spaces within them. This comment that I recently received, it said, I don't trust you. Why do you keep telling people to go into their darkness? Huh? What's that about? Yeah. Ulterior motives 101. There it is. I want you to go into your darkness because I know the nature of darkness. If you stop avoiding it, pretending it away, resisting it, pushing it aside, distracting yourself from it, if you have the courage and the power to get authentic and real with yourself, you discharge the darkness. That's why I want you to be unafraid of your depth. That's why I encourage you to just get real. Stop the illusion. The spiritual community, be it the community of ufology, the truther community, the new age, the spiritual, every part of this community is in some way infiltrated with inauthenticity. The unauthentic self leads the way. In other words, the ego is in charge. The ego wants the spiritual journey to be about this beautiful figured woman who's vegan and does yoga and doesn't stress and lives a life of perfect harmony and fruit salads and I don't know what else, just other unattainable perfect stuff that is so inauthentic. Where in that equation is the being? Where in that illusory spirituality is the depth? Where in that illusory spirituality is there a difference even between that and a corporate 9-to-5 job that a person might judge and say, well, that's not a very spiritual thing. Most spiritual people are not very spiritual because of the level of inauthenticity, totally disconnected from themselves, where you need to get reconnected to. And if what you find there is dense, dark, depressive stuff, because it is there, it is buried, then you deconstruct it from within so that you can turn everything back into light, because that's your job. You're here to transmute all the pain into the totality and into the wholeness of God. Because that is all that there is. You're here to dispel the illusion, not grow the illusion, not enlarge the illusion, not create more pretense. Authenticity is the most prized tool you will have in the spiritual community. It's your authenticity with you. It is not the brag ability that you show other people on social media. Look at how spiritual I am. Look at these new leggings that I'm wearing. Look at this new food that I'm eating. Look at this new mantra that I'm saying. None of those things are spiritual. When you ascend, you go through a Stargate. That Stargate, you cannot cheat. You cannot hack it. It's authentic or it's nothing. I imagine so many people standing in front of the 5D Stargate going, but I'm vegan, but I have a smoothie, but I do yoga, but how authentic are you? How authentic will you dare to get with you? How human will you let yourself be? I understand we're all angelic in our very core true nature, but you must let yourself be human to transcend the human limitations. We've judged so much about the human journey as shameful and wrong and bad and not good enough and not appropriate that we're just living an illusion, a fantasy. Don't let your spirituality be that. Let your spirituality be real. Do you know, I had somebody say to me, this is a true story, you guys. I had somebody say to me, Kerry, don't say the word, it was swine. Yeah. Literally, that was the word I used. I didn't even swear. Fuck it, I should have. I used the word swine. It was a joke. It was like a little story that I put up probably on Instagram, and it was a really hot day, and I think I did something like, oh, guys, I'm sweating. Instead of saying sweating like a pig, because that's not ladylike, I'm glowing like a swine. And somebody said, oh, Kerry, don't you know the power of your words, Oh my gosh, you can't say words like swine because they're very dense and they're very heavy and they're very low frequency. What a load of bullshit. What's low frequency and what's toxic is judgment. You've got to get unafraid of your words. You've got to get unafraid of the places that you've been afraid to go to explore. Get authentic, get real. I can hug a tree and love it as much as the next person, but there's a reason why tree hugging hippies have got a bad name and they're seen in a certain light of unrealness. It's time for us as a spiritual community to really embrace the darkness. And what we're going to find then is, oh my God, it's not dark. It's just the stuff I judged about myself. Oh my God, it's not evil. It's just the parts of me that I was too scared to see. We've got to get brave. I love the terminology spiritual warrior. Yeah, you can call yourself anything. Lightworker, starseed, human being, angel in disguise, nothing at all, doesn't matter. But to me, when I use this word spiritual warrior, I really remember this flame, this light, this courage. Even that, I've had spiritual people say, don't call yourself spiritual warrior, Kerry, because, people think you're going to go to war. It's just words. And the warrior is not here to go to war. The warrior is here to face everything, but it takes courage to face, not fight, face yourself. The spiritual ufology truther community, every aspect of it was infiltrated in order to prevent the spiritual people from realizing their true power was embedded in their authenticity. It does take courage to be where you are. You want to get into the moment? You want to get really present? It doesn't take 10,000 hours of meditation. It takes the courage to feel what you feel and get real. And do you know that most people can't do that? Do you know that most people have forgotten how to feel? I do meditations, deep, powerful, profound, life-changing meditations for people. And sometimes people say, I don't feel anything. And it's not because there wasn't anything to feel. It's because they've lost the receptors. Because if you don't use it, you lose it. And if you suppress it, you depress it. It's gone, inaccessible, until you find the courage in you to feel what's there and to realize, oh my gosh, it's not bigger than me. It's not going to overwhelm me. I'm in charge of what I feel. What I feel isn't in charge of me. Revelation. Get real, spiritual community, because then you'll be free.